I am back with another teachable moment, and I want to talk about Alicia Kim and Boo again. If you watch the first video where I showcase them as my teachable moment, as my life lessons, you would notice how balanced my perspective and my views were. You would also notice, if you have discerning eyes, that is, that I shared with you that I love both of them. I became a fan of both of them. I used to support the channel when they were together as a unit. I was really curious to know what really happened with this seemingly beautiful couple in spite of their age difference. And I also shared with you why I felt deceived by Alicia. However, I still like her, I do like her because like everybody else, persons have the good, they have the bad, they have the pluses, minuses. I like her business side. I agree that Alicia should move on. Both of them should move on if they no longer feel that they should be together. However, the way in which the move on took place on Alicia's side is what really creating the backlash that she's receiving now. Did she necessarily have to come on the internet and share with us that she is going through a divorce, or she had a divorce, or even open her mouth and say why she got the divorce? Well, she didn't say a whole lot, but she did say enough that made us believe that the ex-husband was the person who had most of the fault in the relationship. And then what really made matters worse was her coming out, giving us the impression that she is getting therapy, she's really been hurt, and she's moving on, and we're here cheering her on to get healed and to get better, get back up on her feet and conquer the world again. But then this whole big scandal come out where she's pregnant, and it is alleged who she's pregnant by. When Alicia came and said that she was going to church, I was like, yeah, Alicia is going to church. She's left the relationship behind and she's going to church and she's getting closer to God. I was cheering her on as a Christian. And then when I see that there was a baby out of wedlock, I'm like, I'm confused. One time she said she was going to church. I'm so happy for this girl, rooting for this girl. And then on the other hand, here she is having sexual relations out of marriage. I'm like, wow, just wow. And then all of the other scandals that follow regarding who she is pregnant by, wow, that painted her in a really, really bad light for real up in a yasso. And now she's receiving all this backlash. Then now Boo has come out. So Boo came out and set the record straight about the cooking oil that Alicia accused him of taking back, and the soap and so forth. And he has explained another side of the story. Alicia had given us the impression that she was living alone as a single woman in the apartment over in Florida. Yes, the apartment that she moved into before she came to New Jersey. But then Boo has given us the impression now, after sharing his side, that he was living in the apartment and sharing the apartment with Alicia. But Alicia was coming on camera and pretending to be living in the apartment by herself. Wow, isn't that deceiving your subscribers and your audience? I like her, but I have to speak the truth up in Ayaso. That is not good. You're supposed to be transparent to the people who support you. I'm just saying. And that is why you have so many people coming out and giving her payday, because they realize that she has been very deceptive. I'm just saying up in Ayaso. You can't come on the internet and say, okay, it's me alone, guys. I'm single. I'm moving on by myself. But then you have your ex-husband living in the apartment with you. You're sleeping together and pretending as if you're single. So apparently, according to what the ex-husband said, he allegedly took back all of the things that he had there because they were his stuff. He was living in an apartment by herself. He bought them for her, and then he came back and took them back because she didn't want to move in back in the house with her, with the family members, right? But now what Boo is saying is that they were mine. They were my stuff. She had her stuff. I had my stuff. That's the impression I got. And when I was moving, I moved my things with me because we were breaking up. She was disrespecting me in the house. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. As I listened to Boo's video, I couldn't help but noticing an overriding theme, which everyone seemed to have been echoing on the internet, that Alicia allegedly married Boo for the green card. Well, the horses came out and spew the information. What Boo is saying, if he was living under a bridge, Alicia would have wanted to come and live under the bridge with him because she wanted the green card. She wanted to leave America because apparently she went several times for her visa, according to him, and allegedly she got turned down. And from what he has observed in the marriage, that's all she wanted. I'm like, wow, wow, that's very telling up in a young song. And the ex-husband come out and say that, wow, 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 wow. So you see, people are not really bashing Alicia because they don't like her. They're bashing her because her morality is what is hanging in the balance. Her character is in question. Her reputation is in question. That is what the people are really talking about. Her motives, her manipulations, her attitude toward this whole thing. Oh, child. Oh, child. Oh, I know this is too much for me. This is too much for me up in here. So. And I tell you something. Here is a perfect teachable moment. You know what the Bible says? What you hand out, you're going to get it back. If you hand out good into the world, good is going to come back to you. If you hand out bad into the world, it's going to come back to you. You can't be doing someone allegedly injustice and expect the universe to don't answer, to don't look into the matter, to don't give justice to the person whom you wrong. I'm just saying up in a answer. I don't understand how a person can allegedly do wrong to another person and then expect everybody to stay quiet. Especially when you have pulled in the wall into your life. You have pulled into the wall, into the whole drama, and into the story. And so her brother is coming out now and saying, oh, bloggers are hungry. I hope he doesn't say I am hungry. I have 1 million views on my channel. I hit 1 million views before I did the video on Alicia, the first video. Because persons who know me, I was blogging and reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have since stopped blogging about reality television shows because I want to pivot the channel and focus on teachable moments and life lessons. And Alicia Kim and Boo happen to be in my teachable moments up in Ayasu, and that's why I'm talking about them. If you want to understand why I'm making a second video, you need to go back and look at the first video that I did on them. I'm just saying up in Ayasu. So when the brother coming out and calling out bloggers and say that the bloggers are hungry, they're bad mind, they try to pull a sister down, that's not true. You know who is a blogger? A blogger is someone who observes stories, takes stories, analyzes the stories, do their analysis, evaluation, synthesis of the situation, and come up with their final conclusion. That is what bloggers do. We analyze situations. And so that makes us a niche on the internet. What is Alicia Kim and Boo? They are vloggers, not bloggers. We are bloggers, commentators, persons who do response videos, analyzing situations, analyzing other content creators. That's what we do as B bloggers. Alicia Kim and her brother and other people, they do VLOG, vlog, where they showcase their life and so forth. Their role on the internet is like a reality television show. They show us their life. We never ask them to show us their life. They show us their lives. So we have the right as bloggers to go and comment and analyze and make responses on them. So when we do, the brother is getting all up in his feelings and want to call out my good friend Ram the Chucker. Hey, don't come for Ram the Chucker for that. Yes, he's one of my best bloggers up in a yes on YouTube. Okay, he is not doing anything wrong. He is doing his job as a blogger, taking your sister's story and analyzing it and put it into perspective and breaking it down for those persons who cannot see the whole big picture. I'm just sitting up in a yes. So you need to go and have several seats, Chris, because guess what happened? Your sister is there as a public figure, and according to the blogging rules and laws in the United States that govern blogging, we have the right to take anything that is already existing in the public domain, like your sister and whoever put out things in the public, and analyze them. I saw something on Ram the Trucker's video where he said that he saw a post that Alicia deleted where she said that persons who are taking her videos and talking about her allegedly would have to give her a commission. Alicia going to take several seats in the stadium in New Jersey up in Ayaso. Because as far as I'm concerned, any blogger has the right, the legal right, to take any content that is already in the public domain, yes, and analyze, critique for the sole purpose of entertainment, education, giving information, you name it. That is the law. Right? I know the law. So persons like Ram and all of the others who are doing stories on you, they are not doing anything wrong. They are walking in their legal lane. Right? So they don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything, because then as long as they don't run your videos on their channel talking about you, you're a public figure. Anybody can talk about you. I'm a public figure. Anybody can talk about me. Right? But if they take my content and run it on their channel, that's a different story. I'm just saying up in a answer. And even if they do take a screenshot from your video and use it as a thumbnail, you can't do them anything, because the video already exists in the public domain. I'm just saying up in a answer. Just chill. If you don't want people to talk about you, stop putting out your stuff. I'm just saying. If you want to shut people up, you got to stop putting out your stuff. And that is a teachable. As long as they keep putting out the stuff, they are going to talk. And it seems as though you love the talk. You love when they talk. I'm just saying up an asshole. But here is my perfect teachable moment regarding these two, right? I'm not here to talk about what they have already done in the past. That's water under the bridge. In the future, going forward, Boo, my advice to you is to think twice when it comes to dating younger women. If you really are lonely and you want somebody to settle with, find somebody within your age group. That's what I'm saying. On Alicia's side, Alicia, if the situation regarding your relationship, your boo, your second boo or whatever is the truth, you need to make it right with God. Because that situation right there, if it is what it is, allegedly, it is not a good look in the sight of God, and you have to get your act right. You have to clean up your ways. I'm just saying up in here, so. I mean, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, and I know a lot of you are going to come in the comment section, and you're going to say, but Karen, you're not supposed to judge nobody. You're not supposed to point your finger at anybody. Well, currently, I am single. I am not living with anyone. I am not doing anything out of marriage. So I think I'm at liberty to point out a moral flaw when I see it. Granted that I am not doing the same thing and calling her out. I'm just saying. Entangled in all of this web is this beautiful baby that has been created. I want to wish her all of the best with her delivery. And I just hope that she is going to take my advice and she is going to find herself back in church. She's going to clean up her life and to turn her life around 360 in the direction of God. I'm just saying up in a yes, I'm just saying. Here is a perfect teachable moment. When I came to Canada, I promised myself that I am not going to marry to anyone for any papers. I came here. It was a terrible situation for me, but I ducked through all of the trenches and I filed for my own immigration status. I had already had a failed marriage in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and a failed engagement. Both of them ended up in me being cheated on. And I knew that I was not going to be cheated on a third time. So I decided I am going to work hard in Canada to get all that I need. Suffice it to say, Alicia took seemingly the route that many women take. They come through to the outer world via a spousal visa or marriage. And so that has backlash, especially when it seems that the person who filed for her is alleging that that's the only thing she wanted. I'm just saying up in a yes, so. But on the other hand, perfect teachable moment, I went the hard route. It took me 5 years before I could really start to get my thing documented in Canada on my own. Build up all those points, do a lot of volunteering in the community, you name it. And then, of course, I had my teaching as my education that I came here with. I was already a certified teacher from my island when I came here. So all those helped me to get points. And I had to go to school, learn French, for them to see that in Quebec, I'm trying to learn the language. And that is why this story is so sensitive to me, because there are people out there like me and others who have worked so hard, have to duck through the trenches to get what they have. And then here is this person on the receiving end of the stick who loved this person. And all this person wanted was just this piece of paper. And then move on with their life. When you listen to Boo, Boo said he loves Alicia and he still loves her. And I believe him. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And that is why I always say I would never marry to anyone in Canada and sponsor them to come to Canada. Because I know how hard I work for my papers. And it's no how anybody is going to come after I don't put my life on the line for them, put my money on the line for them, sponsor them, bring them here, and they move on with somebody else. I will not be able to live with myself. And I tell God that. And there are persons who are interested from my island who want to come to Canada. I said, nope, I don't want nobody outside of Canada. If I can't find somebody in Canada, marry in Canada, I don't want nobody outside of Canada to sponsor. I'm just saying up in a yes. So, who feels it knows it, and I understand the whole dynamics. Alicia, I understand your dynamics, and I understand Boo's dynamics. I'm just saying up in here, so. And what do we have? A big hot mess. A big hot mess up in here, so. Another teachable moment here. If I was in Alicia's position, and she was going through whatever she was going through, she wanted to make the exit, I would have made the exit smoothly, and don't come on the internet. Don't come on the internet and say nothing. Just let the whole thing go away. And I might have just come off the internet. Go find a job, move on with my life. Nobody didn't have to know anything. I'm just saying up in here, so. I'm just saying. Boo might have just, don't even come back on the internet. He might have just gone away and both of them vanished from the internet. But no, she wants the money. She loves the big checks that she's getting from YouTube. And so she has to now come out and save face. And no, saving face, it's more, this thing is not gonna go away right now. Trust me. The only of this thing people are going to stop talking about Alicia is if she comes off the internet in full. I'm just saying up here. So. And that is why I always say I want to put out stories about my life, but sometimes I'm like, why do I really want to put out these stories about my life? Because once you put them out, you can't take them back. And the more you put out, is the more people want more and more and more and more of you. Sometimes the price you have to pay for $1 is not always worth it. I rather my peace and my privacy, yes, and find other ways in which I can make money. I have a full-time job. I have my businesses, you name it. That's enough for me. Putting up my life out there, going out on a limb to make $1, absolutely not. It's not worth it. I'm just saying up in there. So, but to each his own. If it works for Alicia, fine for her. But you also have to accept what comes with it. You have to accept the territory that comes with it. You're going to get talked about. You're going to get analyzed. Your motives are going to be questioned. You name it. Your character, reputation, everything is going to be on the line. And you just have to deal with it. That's it. Thank you for watching. And remember, no matter what you do, never try to put out another person's light in order for you to be able to shine. God bless you.